Welcome to Deadly Dames, and this is going to be the 30th? I almost forgot what day I was on there. So it's the 30th of October with regards to the Halloween challenge. So let's just get started. So I started off the day by finishing. Well, actually, I watched it all last night, but it was after doing last night's video. But I finished watching Empire of the Ants late last night. Sorry, I'm out of focus here. See if I can get this in focus. It was very, very entertaining. So, really funny. Sort of went in a direction you didn't quite expect this movie to go in, because obviously it's about mutated ants, and then you find out that these ants are actually using pheromones to control the people that live on the island as well. Really funny, really entertaining. Actually, considering it's a movie about giant ants, it's not a. It's quite a. I'm trying to think what date this was made. 1977, yes. So for the time, I think it's quite bloody considering the time that it was set. It's quite funny because there's scenes where you can quite clearly see that it's like ants in a fish tank, but it was still really fun to watch it. So yeah, I would recommend Empire of the Ants if you haven't already seen it. I also watched Trick or Treat. This is an 80s classic in my opinion, and it's a movie that badly needs a decent Blu-ray release, because this is a really poor DVD release from Castle Home Video. God knows who they are, but I've had this for years. I found it in an old shop that no longer exists where I stay, and I'll never get rid of it, because unless someone actually gives us a decent release of it, because I've never seen it again since finding this one. I love this movie. In fact, I love this movie so much that I actually know the words to the song that Sammy Carr? Yeah, Sammy Carr sings in it, the Trick or Treat song. So basically, Trick or Treat is about this young guy who's like an outcast in school. He's always getting bullied and picked on. He's got an amazing record collection, which if he still had that today would probably be worth quite a lot of money. But he's bullied. He's got his idol's this rock star called Sammy Carr, who everybody, like all adults, think is a bad influence, and Sammy Carr then ends up dying, and the boy thinks his life's like over because obviously the guy that he idolises has now died. So it goes from there to this local DJ who he's kind of friends with, gives them the band's last record, and we find out when the record plays backwards that he actually summons the spirit of Sammy Carr, and the movie goes from there. So it all goes horribly wrong from there. The ghost comes back and does some pretty bad things. There's a couple of scenes in this that even to today, I always kind of think they're out of place. Like the possession scene with the girl in the car. It's just something not quite right with that scene. It just doesn't seem right, like a ghosty spirit doing what it does. But overall, this is an amazing film, and I would recommend, if you've never seen Trick or Treat, getting yourself a copy of it, even if it is as crap as this one is. And hopefully, if I keep moaning about it enough, someone will release a decent Blu-ray edition of this. I moaned about Fright Night long enough, and suddenly we're getting a decent edition, so maybe someday will release Trick or Treat. I then decided to watch a bit of comic relief, so put on Peter Jackson's Frighteners. Forgot how funny this film was. It's been a very long time since I've seen it, and I love Peter Jackson, especially his older stuff. Like, I do like Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, but not as much as like Brain Dead and Bad Taste. It's that sort of where he's like, in my opinion, that's like the ultimate Peter Jackson. I even like Heavenly Creatures. I think that's fantastic, but Frighteners is so funny. It's filled with like amazing cameos. Like, obviously you've got John Astin appears in this, and oh god, I can't remember the actor's name. So this is what happens when you watch movies all day. Your brain just stops working. The guy that's in Texas Chainsaw Remake and Full Metal Jacket, you know, the sergeant guy, the horrible guy. Yeah, he's like a ghost in this. You've also got Jeffrey Combs playing the creepiest creep in the world in it. But it's so funny. It's also quite scary. Doesn't Jake... oh my god, I've completely forgot his name. That's terrible. Where are you? Jake Busey. Yeah, double of his dad, Gary Busey. And obviously the amazing Dee Wallace-Stone's in there. I think, to be honest, like, a horror film needs Dee Wallace in there somewhere. Even though she's like probably best known for being E.T.'s mum, but It's funny how you say E.T.'s mum, because she isn't E.T.'s mum, she's Elliot's mum and Tiny Drew Barrymore's mum. But yeah, it's probably because she's best known for being that, but she appears in so many horror films. But yeah, she's in this one as well. But I think most people should have seen Frighteners at some stage, and if you haven't, you need to watch this film. Then decided to watch Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. I never knew this was a remake at all, but the reason why I decided to watch this is because it's been a very long time since I've seen it, and I was actually watching someone else's video on YouTube, and they actually had this on their TV but paused, and I thought, geez, this is a good film, I think I'll watch this one. This movie is far better than Del Toro's Crimson Peak. Is it Crimson Peak? My god, I need to go to bed. Watch less movies, go for sleep. But yeah, Crimson Peak to me was a bit of a disappointment, but Don't Be Afraid of the Dark on a whole was actually quite an entertaining film. So it's basically about this ancient mansion that's built on top of like basically fairies, and whenever they appear you need to give them a sacrifice. Now they prefer children, and they like the children's teeth and bones, and then they sort of become one of those fairies. But this one here is about a broken family, and it's like the dad and his new girlfriend, who's played by Katie Holmes, is actually very underrated in this. I actually really believe her character in this movie, and this movie gets a bad time. It's got a bit of a bad reputation as not a lot of people liked it, but I actually think it's a really good movie. In that Katie Holmes leg at the end, I'm trying to not give too much away because I also don't want to spoil it for people, but oh my, you know me when it comes to, oh jeez, I'll just say it, but cover your ears if you've not seen the movie. Broken Bones, you know what I'm like with Broken Bones, but that scene's just, oh. But yeah, I really enjoyed watching it again. It was just as good watching it. I think this must be like the fourth time I've seen it or something, but just as good on the fourth time as it was the first time. After Don't Be Afraid of the Dark, I decided to go to a classic movie and decided to watch David Cronenberg's The Fly. It's actually probably been about 5 years since I've seen The Fly, and it's amazing. The movie is still phenomenal. What happens to Jeff Goldblum's character in it, so the Brundlefly, and this is just awful. And then also the poor guy at the end, with what the fly does to him. Oh, how do you explain that to an ambulance? So by the way, can we please have an ambulance? Somebody's melted off a hand and a foot. How do you explain that? And I'm sorry if that spoiled anything for anybody, but if you've not seen The Fly, you need to watch it. But it's a really good movie, and I think what sort of amps this film up is, like, obviously Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis, they were a real life couple, and you kind of feel when you're watching the film that they do really like each other. There is chemistry there, and I'm not saying that every actor and actress should be dating, but it's great to see chemistry on screen, and that you really feel for Gina Davis's character when she sees this guy that she obviously loves morphing into a fly. The effects in this movie are second to none. They're amazing, especially like the eyeball pops at the end. And it's funny, I actually discovered something that my partner can't stand today. Nails coming off. Grossed the life out of her in this when it happened. So I was like, yes, I finally have one I can get over on you, because obviously I'm like grossed out with arm breakages and leg breakages, which we got plenty of in these movies. But yeah, love The Fly, and if you haven't seen it, you need to watch it. So I'm going up the stairs to watch another film in bed, so that I can just fall asleep when I'm ready to, and that is Friday the 13th Part 2. So I've already watched Friday the 13th 1, let's watch Jason come out. So not watched it yet, taken up the stairs to watch it. Don't need to say much about Friday the 13th Part 2 anyway. I think most horror fans have seen it. It's the one where Jason finally turns up and he gets tricked by her. But yeah, as always, thank you for watching. I hope you're enjoying these Halloween challenges. I'm well over the 31 now, but just keep going, see how many more movies I can squeeze in tomorrow. I'm saving the Granddaddy, Halloween itself, to watch tomorrow. It's tradition. And any comments, obviously just leave them below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and take care.